Hello everyone and welcome back to Green Lantern Rise of the Manhunters, and today we're going to Biot. We're starting our missions on the Manhunter homeworld. So hopefully I can find something to talk about for this episode. Yeah, on the surface it's like it's a it's a cool looking place, but in essence it's just more of the same from before. So yeah, just it's it'll a lot of it will just be, fights and stuff. And almost immediately I'm just thrown into one. Also, we're back to fighting Manhunters again, or all Manhunters. No, like there's no unique enemies at this point. It's just more of the same. I forget if we have any new ones here. I guess these ones are kind of speedy and stuff, so dodge attacks really easily and all that kind of thing. Yeah, there's not much to go over as far as just level design and stuff. It's mainly just a mess of like corridors and that kind of thing. So I'm not sure if I talked about this before in another part, but the movie, every time I watch it, it's like, because some people call it like, oh, that's one of the worst comic book movies ever, that kind of thing. I don't think it's as terrible as everyone else does. And whenever anybody says it's terrible, nobody has besides the bad guy and stuff, it's not a whole lot of concrete reasons as to why. Because I think, the whole Green Lantern mythology is really interesting. Delving into that. Which they haven't really done in a whole lot of other media besides the cartoon and stuff. So be great to see more of that kind of thing. But anyway, so we have that new that new Manhunter there, that once he can't use your abilities and stuff, but you could still make a sword. Oh man, this puzzle right here, I can't begin to tell you how much, when I was recording that for the review, there was so much I had so much trouble with that puzzle. It took me at least 10 attempts before I got it down. Oh, wrong button. I don't know why, too. It was just something so simple. But it felt like just a mess to get through. So we're playing a game of baseball while having to fight these Manhunter assholes. That's fun. So, recently I started getting into the cartoon, or the animated series, and, like, I watched the first 2-3 episodes, and it was really good. Over the years, I've watched, like, bits and pieces of it, like, throughout its whole season or 2 seasons. Sorry. You know, I saw like the Guy Gardner stuff, the Manhunters, Aya going insane, all that. But I watched those episodes again, and they're really enjoyable. So that was really good. I also watched that episode of Young Justice where Razor shows up and he's got like the red and blue thing going on. Something to me is like, it's odd that the fact that Green Lantern and Young Justice are in the same universe. Considering that, you know, it's two completely different art styles and animation. So, and I think creative teams too, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong on that, but I wonder if it was just something the Young Justice crew was toying around with, or like they had permission to use him, or whatever the case was. But it was fascinating, I think.
Kilowog was after the yellow energy the Manhunters stole from Oa. So now I know where the yellow went, and most likely Kilowog.
Nice, Hal.
Insertion of a mind construct will activate override system.
Look at all those Brainiac symbols on the floor. There's a lot of them.
Alert. Incoming message. Amen, sir.
Hammond, how are you?
This is such a weird thing to throw in.
I wanted to say I wish my father had been like you and ignored his orders. He might still be alive today. Please, in his honor, promise you will destroy the man.
Like I said in the review, it's so weird that this just comes out of nowhere.
They won't. Trust me.
And just all of a sudden, I was like, oh, he's just back in the story after we just completely forgot about him for like the last 3 missions or so. Actually, 6 missions, to be fair. Because besides like the opening cutscene and stuff, this is when he's finally getting back into it. I think at that point you just kind of know, like, well, actually no, because once they mention the idea of like a traitor among the ranks and stuff, that is when you come to the conclusion, like, okay, Amen is the bad guy. So, it's dumb. It doesn't make sense, but so we got our Ultraman. I just used the mech to take these guys out. The mech is fun to use, like, especially when you're fighting big guys like this. Just fucking that shit up. Also, it goes with the idea that bosses you fought before turn into regular old enemies in the game. Because you don't fight Ultra Hunters often, but now it's just like, oh, it's a main villain sort of thing, so I guess why the hell not? If there's one thing I don't care about with these set of levels the whole time, it's just like you're going through these random hallways and stuff, and like all of it is just like, I gotta find Kilowog. Fuck the Manhunters, like stopping their plans and stuff. But Kilowog is main priority. It's dumb, but you know, whatever. Just gonna Gatling gun all your shit. The Gatling gun is so, like, it's so much fun to use. As far as, like, abilities go, it's one of my favorite, like, secondary ones. I think it's like the Gatling gun and the mech are the ones that I use for combat a lot. When it comes to, like, the ring blaster and the ring blaster, the hammer, like most of that is just for like solving puzzles and stuff. It's not really, I don't really use it for don't really use it for much else.
We declare you guilty.
Another thing that gets annoying is these Manhunters. Every room you walk into, it's just like, oh, you're guilty of committing a crime and stuff, and no man will escape us and all that shit. And it's just like, man, give it a rest. I get it. I can tell.
Scanning. Manhunter reactor. Recommended action.
One thing I wish that we gotten
Ring?
in
What do you think?
one thing I wish we gotten in these set of levels is like, because we know their origins or how they were created, but I want to know like how this planet came to be. Like, what was the time, like what happened after the fact of them going rogue and them just kind of leaving, because we don't really get much of that. Most of it is just like, oh, they went bad and then that was it. There's not really much insight after that. You could tell Double Helix was just like, they didn't give a damn. Not really. So it's not great. Yeah. Alright, that's gonna end it for Green Lantern. So next time we'll pick it back up with more of Biot, or at least the first level. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you all so much for watching. See ya.